right, so I don't know if you're standing or you have a special guest.
Of course. So we're going real live right now.
Okay.
I'd like to introduce everybody. In fact, let me greet everyone. Good morning, listeners on the Wave Dazzle Hangouts. All right, we have in studio today Kamani Lionel, aka Loggo, aka the genius, aka videographer of the century.
Yes.
You know, we featured Kamani sometime when he had his foot in the door, right? But we saw him from way before. He's a visionary. From the time he had his dream vision. I don't know if it's still called dream vision, but I remember seeing him filming weddings, right, and being very captivated by his work. In fact, at the time, it was very, I would say, extraordinary. And knowing his background, you know, when he came to us for the interview, Kamani at first worked as a photographer at Sanders for 3 years, right? And then realizing that the environment was very saturated with photographers. Everybody wanted to get into photography. He then ventured into videography, right? The funny thing about it is that he got introduced. Well, not really, I wouldn't say introduced. Initially, he wanted to be, I think, an IT specialist around that, right? And that's when he was at Sir Ira Simmons, right? And at 16, he was introduced to Photoshop, and everything changed from there. Now, for all those who don't know Loggo, Kamani, he's done exceptional work, right?
Stop selling me out, dog.
Right?
Loggo.
Okay. Yeah, Kamani Lionel. Right? He did the Michael Robinson's video. Right, that he got a lot of flack for. I remember that, right, and that was his early years. I remember Twitter was going crazy, and I told him, you know what? From then, I think that's probably the first conversations I had with him. I said, don't worry about that. I see where you go, and I see the vision continue. Right, he's done work for Preedy, Sidale, Destra, Teddyson, John. The catalog right now is growing out of control. Even like recently, a couple of weeks ago, he was on a top secret mission. I shall not say where he went or who he was filming for, right? But he also did
business too well.
Yeah, and he also did Pretty and Purpose for Shemi J. I think a majority of Shemi J's videos, or probably all, and also Sidale. But he's been doing a fantastic job representing St. Lucia on that international level, bringing quality to video. I think, that's just my opinion, he has pioneered the way video is shot in St. Lucia, because we have a lot of younger guys coming up, and watching the style, I could definitely and confidently say that that is Loggo style. So without any, I wouldn't say more. I'll let Loggo continue and tell us about his journey from his feature in Dazzle to now.
First and foremost, bro, Loggo Lionel. Let's stop selling me out. But yeah, bro, thanks a lot. That is a real good introduction. You know, I started out doing videography when in 2015, and from then until maybe our last interview with Dazzle. Sorry, from now until the last interview with Dazzle, the journey has been really, really, I don't know, it's been really tough, because the amount of things, obviously, you know, you have a goal, you have a dream, and a lot of people don't believe in that together with you. So, you know, you now have to like prove them wrong and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, just go forth, you know? But, yeah, man, like, what to say? What to say? I just doing what I love, you know?
Yeah, so like for me, I remember seeing Loggo doing photography also with Wavemaker. Right. I think that's one of the I would probably say platforms that probably got you out. But you know, I would like to, we'll want the public to know exactly, you know, how did you come from just one day deciding, okay, let me switch from photography to videography, and being so well at it?
The transition came from obviously working at Sanders and seeing the resort videographers just doing the most basic and boring stuff. And when I left Sanders, it was always something that played at the back of my mind, you know, just trying to change, you know, the entertainment aspect of, you know, weddings and all them kind of stuff in regards to videography. So I slowly dabbled into it until, you know, I found like my work was unique from a lot of those productions. And yeah, that's one of the ways that initially it was wedding videography that got me into the video aspect. And then from there I transitioned into, you know, corporate, commercials, events, and right now my focus is music videos. Yeah.
So I know as you said, you did like weddings, but what more or less propelled you, you know, to do the music videos? Because I don't see you doing weddings anymore, right? And for me, watching those wedding videos, it was like a movie. It took me there. It took me to the journey from before. I think you captured the moment before, like the groom and the bride in their own environment, to like the preparations to the wedding, to the after party, the reception, you know?
For me, it became too repetitive. You know, like just doing weddings, the same sequence. Maybe if I changed it up a bit, you know, but it still became very repetitive. I know what to expect at a wedding, you know. Doing a music video, you know, it's always like every day is a different day. Every project is a different project, you know, from the last one. And I number one, also saw open market for St. Lucian music video, because there was Jelani who was doing it, but obviously he moved out, and you know there wasn't anyone else doing it in between. And so I kind of moved from doing weddings to doing music videos. It was a big risk because obviously weddings was what paid the bills, and music videos, they go pay nothing. So it was a big risk for me to, you know, get rid of doing weddings and take forth with music videos. And yeah, with the weddings versus the music videos, there are rules and limitations when doing a wedding video. There's no rules at all when doing a music video. So that's how I see it, and I see no rules, that there for me. So I might as well go for that. Yeah.
Right. So apart from the names I mentioned earlier, like Shenseea, Sidil, Preety, Destra, who else have you worked with?
I've worked with Kes, Shenseea, Nyla Blackman. We have a project coming out very soon, actually. KO, you know. So what was the names again? You said
Sidil, Preety. I said Destra.
Okay.
yeah.
Teddy, of course. And honestly, I can't remember. Neon Dreams, yes. Big up Neon Dreams from Canada. They're a group in Halifax. Quick, Matthews, you know. And just trying to expand, really.
All right,
trying to expand.
So tell us about Kes and Shenseea. What's the name of that track?
Close to me.
Close to me, yeah. Right. So tell us about your involvement in that. And how you were contacted, etc., etc.
I met Kes in St. Lucia, actually, and you know, there's a funny story about that. It was Lamar of Verve and Shamila who told me, let's go to do like some promo video for them for Sunlit, right? And at that point, I was just Bridges. At that point, I wasn't really in a mood to go out. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll do it real quick and just get back in the vehicle and go. And the vibe was different when I got there. You know, everyone sat there, you know, everyone started opening up, talking, and you know, it was just a vibe. And Kes and I had a one-on-one, and he actually saw my video that I did with Cohen Dubois in Cuba. And that kind of, he was really impressed with that video, and that kind of, you know, created the bridges between us two and Thick. Yeah, so when I got back to Trinidad to work with Destra, Kes linked me up, and he told me that he has a project for me to work on. And turns out it was a project with Shenseea. So that day was just a wow, you know. That day was like just an amazing moment for me. And when he sent the song, I went to work on the treatment ASAP, because I know we didn't have time in Jamaica to film. We only had like 2 days in Jamaica, so I needed to make everything count and everything real organized for that. So yeah, just hopped on the ball one time and moved off.
Yeah, so you mentioned Cohen Dubois, Cuba, right? So I assume that Cohen Dubois, Teddy, and Voice, right?
And Lyrical.
And Lyrical,
Yeah.
right? That was that video. So
Yeah.
how was that experience? How did you get on board with that? Because Cuba is not Trinidad. Cuba is not Jamaica, you know?
Two stories. Big up Teddy for connecting me with Cohen Dubois. And I met Cohen through Teddy like maybe 2 years ago, I would say. And Cohen and I always used to brainstorm ideas, always brainstorming ideas, whether it's the most sporadic idea, and it's always weird. And I think at one point, I'm not saying that's what triggered the Cuban experience, but I'm just saying that we always think of something outside of the box. And then at one point I mentioned that, you know, we should take soca to like the Spanish market, because the Spanish market is such a huge supportive market. You know, why don't we try to get in with that, with the soca out there? And he was saying that he's also onto an idea which tries to build that bridge as well. So we were both on the same wavelength. And after a while, Teddy called me like about a month or two later. Teddy called me saying, "Bro, get ready to go to Cuba." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Then as soon as Teddy linked me, Cohen linked me, and oddly, we kind of lived, like me and Cohen lived real close to each other. Like I could walk to Cohen's house in Canada because he lives in Canada. So where I used to live at that time, it was like a 10-minute walk to Cohen's. So as soon as he said, "Let's go to Cuba," he was like, "Link me." So I went straight to him and he broke down the whole idea for me and what, you know, he had planned and all that kind of stuff. Of course, I was excited. But the Cuban experience, bro, it's amazing. It's actually a humbling experience, I should say, because you're seeing that you're in a place where you're so fortunate to a place where the people aren't as fortunate as you. So that in itself is so inspiring, and yeah, it was mad. I was humbled to be there. Yeah.
Because Teddy told me that a lot of the scenes, a lot of the scenes were unscripted, especially with those.
Even the music was unscripted.
All right.
Even the music, because they did the music in Cuba.
Okay.
You know, and then we did the music video like the day after the music was done. Because imagine, I only had like the bed of the music. The music, what you guys hear, is not what I had when I did the video. They only gave me like the skeleton, and then I did the video around it, and then they produced the song around the video, which was just, since when you're hearing a music video done before the actual song.
Right.
You understand? So everything was just so unscripted. You know, like the whole project was just unscripted.
And I noticed that you also had Cubans participating in the video. Even towards the end, there was this Cuban lady singing the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, them Cubans love the vibe. You know, when you bring something different to them, especially with music, because Cubans, that's what really moved them. You know, they don't really have much, but when they have music, you know, you feel in the love, you feel in the energy, you feel in the vibes. So that's what it was. Like when we were walking around, we had this big speaker playing, and everyone was just just being involved in it, and just pulling people aside, like, come join. You know, that one night where the girl was singing in the ending, that night was just an amazing night, because we were on the streets trying to get the last shots before we fly out, and then the whole town just came out. You know, we even at one point got water thrown on us.
Oh no. Why? Because you guys were making too much noise?
You know, at one point, you know, a little woman from wherever just
like
threw
you guys
a bucket
making,
of water.
what's that noise? What's that music?
But apparently in Cuban that is like a traditional thing.
Okay.
You know, so that's
a good
that's
thing.
expected.
That's expected, all right.
I guess I would say if it's a good thing, but it was expected.
All right, so do you have a team that you work with?
Unfortunately, I don't at the moment.
All right, so because I know that's a lot of work to write the script, right? To shoot, then to edit, and then publish.
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work, and actually, slowly but surely, I'm growing. Because also with that line of job, I need to have loyalty as well. You know, and people who's as passionate as I am. You know, so I'm slowly picking and choosing as to, you know, the right set of people I want around me. You know, I have a list of what I need and the kind of people that I need as well. So, you know, as time goes by and the people that I meet, I'll select it out.
Right.
But I'm preparing to go.
Well, definitely, it is something that you need to be very dedicated to.
Yeah.
For everybody out there who who is who are aspiring to be a videographer director, it's a lot of hard work, right? Loggo didn't come overnight. As much as you see all the niceness, the excitement, even like with me, the Pretend Purpose video, that was genius because you did not only sell the song, but you also sold St. Lucia.
Yeah.
You know, the shots, right? You did not only stay in one location. I think you guys went to Soufre and Labrie. Where else did you go?
Soufre, Labrie,
Pigeon Point.
Pigeon,
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, like this is the next thing that I'm trying to bring out too. You know, it was an open market. The music industry it was at that time weak. You know, because there's no proper music video to kind of back that out, and it was something that I saw was missing. And I always loved music. Like growing up, BET, days all I watching. You check it. Days all I watching. Like I would see how people run home and watch Dragon Ball Z. I'll run home and watch 106 in Park and make sure. You understand? So music was something that I really love. And then the international boundaries, you know, like just the international, level of the music is just when Rihanna came out with Pon the Replay. I was hearing the Caribbean in an international world.
Right.
You understand? So that in itself was inspiring. So that's what I try to do here. You know, I try to sell the music here as well as the island as well. You know, because of course, St. Lucia, we need all the support we could get to move forward. So we might as well start. If I could do a contribution to that, I might as well do it. You know.
Cool.
So yeah, man.
No problem. So let the people know how they could get you. How they can reach you.
You could get me only on Instagram _Loggo Lionel. _Loggo. That's LOGGO. And my website, logolionel.com.
All right, that's great. So everybody, you know, you could always read more about Loggo. Just go on the Dazzle website, search Loggo Lionel, right? And you'll find the story. You read about it. It's very inspiring. You could look up all his videos. You just search his name, Loggo Lionel, on YouTube. You will see all his and his website as well, and get all his videos, the top quality. You know, me personally, very proud of him and his journey, seen where he came from, right, and where he is today, right, and where he will be, you know, tomorrow and beyond. So,
thank you,
Loggo. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so very much.
All right, and thank you, listeners.